Islam and greetings, Moors. Welcome back to another episode of Pardon the Interjection. I am your host, Supreme L. I would love to give high honors to Prophet Noble Jew Ali and all the active Moors. Here on Partner Interjection, we dig up information to divulge to the people and the upliftment of fallen humanity. And yes, it is a long, long fall we are facing. I would like to get into some information that I found interesting. But first, I want to read part of the divine warning given by the Prophet Noble Jew Ali. The citizens of all free national governments, according to their national constitution, are all of one family, bearing one free national name. Those who fail to recognize the free national name of their constitutional government are classed as undesirables and are subject to all inferior names and abuses and mistreatments that the citizens care to bestow upon them. And it is a sin for any group of people to violate the national constitutional laws of a free national government and cling to the names and the principles that delude to slavery. I, the Prophet, was prepared by the great God Allah to warn my people to repent from their sinful ways and go back to that state of mind to their forefathers, divine and national principles, that they will be law abiders and receive their divine right as citizens, according to the free national constitution that was prepared for all free national beings. They are to claim their own free national name and religion. And that is part of the divine warning sent down by the Prophet Noble Jew Ali. And we have something that was sent down by my brother Cujo Alu L in Canaan Land Moors, and it is Circle 7, Chapter 5, the carpenter's tools. Symbolic meaning of carpenter's tools. The great feast of the Pasch, P-A-S-H, was ended, and the Nazarenes were journeying toward their homes. And they were in Samaria, and Mary said, "Where is my son?" No one had seen the boy. And Joseph sought among their kindred, who were on their way to Galilee, but they had not seen him. Then Joseph, Mary, and a son of Zebedee returned and sought through all Jerusalem, but they could not find him. And Mary asked the guards, had they seen Jesus, a little boy about 12 years old? The guards replied, "Yes, he is in the temple now disputing with the doctors of the law." And they went in and found him as the guards had said. And Mary said, "Why, Jesus, do you treat your parents thus? Lo, we have sought 2 days for you. We feared that some great harm had overtaken you." And Jesus said, Do you not know that I must be about my Father's work? But he went round and pressed the hand of every doctor of the law and said, I trust that we meet again. And then he went forth with his parents on their way to Nazareth. And when they reached their home, he wrought with Joseph as a carpenter. One day, as he was bringing forth the tools for work, he said, These tools remind me of the ones we handle in the workshop of the mind, where things were made of thought and where we build up character. Partner interjection. Now that's very important. Now we need to check that out and pay close attention to this family. Pardon me, Moors. We use the square to measure all our lines, to straighten out the crooked places of the way, and make the corners of our conduct square. We use the compass to draw circles around our passions and desires to keep them in the bounds of righteousness. We use the axe to cut away the knotty, useless, and ungainly parts and make the character symmetrical. We use the hammer to drive home the truth and pound it in until it is a part of every part. We use the plane to smooth the rough, uneven surfaces of joint and block and board that go to build the temple for the truth. The chisel, line, the plummet, and the saw all have their uses in the workshop of the mind. And then this ladder, with its trinity of steps, faith, hope, and love, on it we climb up to the dome of purity in life. And on the 12-step ladder, we ascend until we reach the pinnacle of that which life is spent to build the temple of perfected man. Chapter 5, Circle 7, Quran. Now, let's get into Moorish American questionnaire for Moorish Children's 101s. Who made you? Answer: Allah. Who is Allah? Answer: Allah is the Father of the universe. Can we see him? Answer: no. Where is the nearest place we can meet him? Answer: in the heart. Who is Noble Jew Ali? Answer: he is Allah's prophet. What is a prophet? Answer: a prophet is a thought of Allah manifested in the flesh. What is the duty of a prophet? Answer: to save nations from the wrath of Allah. Who is the founder of the Moorish-sized Temple of America? Answer: Noble Jew Ali. What year was the Moorish-sized Temple of America founded? Answer: 1913 AD. Where? Answer: Newark, New Jersey. Where was Noble Jew Ali born? Answer: in the state of North Carolina, 1886. What is his nationality? Answer: Moorish American. What is your nationality? Answer: Moorish American. Why are we Moorish Americans? Answer: because we are descendants of Moroccans and born in America. For what purpose was the Moorish Science Temple of America founded? Answer: for the uplifting of fallen humanity. How did the prophet begin to uplift the Moorish American? Answer: by teaching them to be themselves. What is our religion? Answer: Islamism. Is that a new, or is that the old-time religion? Answer: old-time religion. What kind of a flag is the Moorish? Answer: it is a red flag with a 5-pointed green star in the center. What do the 5 points represent? Answer: love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. How old is our flag? Answer: it is 50,000 years old. Which is our holy day? Answer: Friday. Why? Answer: because Friday is the day on which man was formed in flesh, and it was on a Friday when he departed out of flesh. Who was Jesus? Answer: he was a prophet of Allah. Where was he born? Answer: in Bethlehem of Judah, in the house of David. Who were his father and mother? Answer: Joseph and Mary. Will you give in brief the line, genealogy, through which Jesus came? Answer: some of the great fathers through which Jesus came are Abraham, Boaz by Ruth, Jesse, King David, Solomon, Hezekiah, and Joseph by Mary. Why did Allah send Jesus to this earth? Answer: to save the Israelites from the iron hand oppression of the pale-skinned nations of Europe, who were governing a portion of Palestine at that time. How long has that been? Answer: about 2,000 years ago. What was the nationality of Ruth? Answer: Ruth was a Moabitess. What is the modern name for Moabites? Answer: Moroccans. Where is the Moroccan Empire? Answer: Northwest Amexem. What is the modern name for Amexem? Answer: Africa. What is the title given to our ruler in Morocco? Answer: Sultan. Where do we get the name Jesus? Answer: from the East. What does the name Jesus mean? Answer: Jesus means justice. Did the angel give the child that was called Jesus a holy name? Answer: yes, but it cannot be used by those who are slaves to sin. What is an angel? Answer: an angel is a thought of Allah manifested in human flesh. What are angels used for? Answer: to carry messages to the four corners of the world, to all nations. What is our prophet to us? Answer: he is an angel of Allah who was sent to bring us the everlasting gospel of Allah. What is the everlasting gospel? Answer: it is a saving power that comes from Allah through our ancient fathers by his prophet. What is the covenant of the great God Allah? Answer. Honor thy mother and thy father, that thy days may be long upon the earth land which the Lord thy God Allah hath given thee. At what age did Jesus begin to teach? Answer. At the age of 12. Where did he teach? Answer. India, Africa, and Europe. How long did he teach? Answer. 18 years. What did Jesus say that would make you free? Answer. Truth. What is truth? Answer. Truth is ought. What is ought? Answer. Ought is Allah. Can truth change? Answer. Truth cannot change or pass away. What other name do we give to truth? Answer. Holy breath. What have you say about holy breath? Answer. All we can say is it is great. It is good. It was. It is. And evermore to be. Amen. Okay, that's gonna take us on the 101s, and we're gonna come back at 52 when we return, and we're gonna go on to another topic that I know is very important. It's not getting a lot of airplay, even on the media. And this is something that I've seen myself firsthand on a job site that I go to in Clinton, Maryland territory, Piscataway territory. Near the Andrews Air Force Base. There are, at a certain time, I get there, and as I'm working, I hear, loud noise like jets. And then I see them fly across in a formation of 4. And then I don't see no insignia, no so-called American star, no so-called American flag, banner, no words, no nothing, just a dark gray jets with maybe a white line on it. That's it, a white line. They fly by. There I hear 2 or 3 minutes later, rumble, big rumble, and here's a bomber plane, big ass bomber plane, no insignia, no nothing but like a white line barely at the top. I can see up across the top of the body, like on its back almost. The white line would be on its back. Close. I mean, I can't see on top, obviously, but it protrudes from, its back onto the side. I can see it a line. And then I hear helicopters. And then single jets, like 3, 1, 2, 3 behind each other. A lot of activity. But none of these aircrafts have an insignia of the state's company or a banner, Star Spangled Banner, or anything on it. And I want to go over this civil order given by the Pope July 4th, 2014. Wow, a year to date as of this order. A year later, my father had been passed. A year later, my pop passed on July 4th, 2013. He transgressed and elevated to a higher existence of life. July 4th, 2013. Peace and blessings be upon him. And as a civil order given July 4th, 2014 by Pope Francis, issued to all members of the Democratic Police Forces, U.S. Marshals Service, the Provost Marshals, members of the American Bar Association, and the American Armed Services. These organic American states, let's say estates, of the Union, well, non-Union, known as the United States of America, major, exercising plenary civil power upon the land, hereby appoint General Carter F. Ham. Write that down, people. Carter F. Ham. To lead and command the Grand Army of the Republic, GAR, acronym, and its successors under the guidance of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, and with their full support, should it become necessary to suppress commercial mercenary forces. Should it become necessary to suppress commercial mercenary forces operating under the guise of being federal government agencies, including but not limited to the Department of Homeland Security, the Federal Emergency Management Administration, FEMA, the Internal Revenue Service, IRS, the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, ATF, etc. General Ham shall assume immediate command and control of all armed forces and services owed to the United States of America, major, stationed in North America, and shall join them under his command as the Grand Army of the the Grand Army of the Republic. All forces of air, land, and sea are to be employed. Any cost or loss suffered as a result of deployment of the Grand Army of the Republic shall be charged as stipulated prior. All effort shall be made by the Grand Army of the Republic to spare life and property while undertaking any action whatsoever within the states of the Union without exception. The GAR, G-A-R, is uniquely enabled by these orders to operate on the land of the 50 organic states for the purposes of securing the lives and property of the American states and American state citizens. The GAR is not a foreign army and is composed primarily of American state citizens. I'm going to go back part of the interjection on that, because that's important, family. Moors. The GAR, G-A-R, Grand Army of the Republic, is not a foreign army and is composed primarily of American state citizens. If required to take field positions, the local commanders shall make every effort to communicate the basis of their authority and the reasons for their presence on American state soil, to ensure a prompt cessation of hostilities and a widespread understanding of the usurpations and acts of fraud which have led to any conflict. All parties must be brought to understand the nature of the federal government, the limitations of its authority, and their own obligations to act in favor of the organic states of the Union. The Grand Army of the Republic shall continue to operate under, General Order 100, known as the Lieber Code. Extant from the pen of the last Republic, President Abraham Lincoln. No orders, executive or otherwise, issued by Barack H. Obama pretending authority on the land of the American states while operating as President of the United States Corporation, nor as the President of the United States of America minor, are owed any performance by the Joint Chief of Staff, General Ham, or any ordinarily. All plainly stated grants of contractual authority evident in the Constitution for the United States of America remain in place, subject to good faith performance of the accompanying obligations and treaties. Mr. Obama is the president of a governmental services corporation under contract to provide stipulated services to the organic states and is on their payroll. Pardon the interjection. Mr. Obama, the president, is the president of a governmental services corporation. Okay, Moors, let's get that together. He's the president of a corporation under contract stipulated to help the family or the people of the organic states and is on their payroll. The Vatican, Rome, their payroll. The United States company is part of the Vatican, part of the Roman Curia. And we continue. He is otherwise acts as a foreign dignitary representing the United States of America minor. That's a bombshell right there, family. Pardon the interjection. That's a bombshell right there. People. In neither of these capacities is he allowed any granted authority to impose upon American state citizens, endanger American state property, or command mercenary forces on American state soil. However veiled as federal civilian service agencies, we require the Joint Chief of Staff and General Ham to commence measures to disarm federal civilian agency personnel and to seize control of the vast stockpiles of arms which have been improperly amassed by the Department of Homeland Security, FEMA, and other agencies employed by the United States. Pardon the interjection. Now, that just dropped a major bomb. They require that the Joint Chiefs of Staff and the General Ham commence measures to disarm federal civilian agency personnel. So they're supposed to be disarming the police. They're disarming the police. Because in some other countries, police don't even have firearms or arms. And we continue. The only federal agency allowed free egress on the land of the American states is the U.S. Marshal Service. And then only when their personnel are engaged in their duty to protect the U.S. mail and sworn to act as constitutional officers. Pardon the interjection. They're only supposed to be protecting the mail, people. So when these so-called judges, which they're not, they're administrators, want to so-called sick the dogs when you call the U.S. Marshal Service to come up and try to scare you, is there any type of mail being shipped here? Because, I mean, I'm not a package. I'm not a package. So if you want to call the marshal, because that's what they do, they call the U.S. Marshal Service. They come up and try to scare you and sit in that so-called courtroom or tribunal area and try to scare you. Is any mail being shipped around there? Because they're just part of the mail service. And then are sworn to act as constitutional officers. Constitutional officers. So if you're bringing a constitution and you're stating for the record that a constitution there, for example, child support. If you're in there and you're saying that they want to get some extract fiat from you and you're telling them about the Constitution that there's no money, they want to try to get some money from you, they ask you for some money, and you're stating that for the record, the Constitution stipulates, okay, well, gold and silver is only this, and you're saying it, reading it in there for the record. And if they try to call the U.S. Marshal to come in there to get you, the U.S. Marshal will be on your side because you're speaking from the Constitution. And they're sworn to act as constitutional officers. The prophet said, if we to just think for ourselves, we'll save ourselves. Okay, and we continue. All other federal agencies' personnel are limited to unarmed service until further notice. Now, that's deep. That's deep. We direct the Joint Chiefs of Staff to communicate these first two general civil orders directly to Mr. Obama, the members of the U.S. Congress, the administrators of all federal agencies, the members of the Supreme Court, and those acting as governors to compel their rapid understanding and cooperation. Any expense or damage incurred by these organic states or any American state citizen as a result of actions undertaken by any federal agency, personnel acting as armed mercenaries on American state soil will be understood as the result of violent crimes committed against the peaceful inhabitants of the land and will incur immediate judgment, liquidating the assets of the International Monetary Fund, IMF, and the Federal Reserve in payment of the stipulated reparations. Such crimes shall also be considered contract default, increasing the public debt subject to bounty. Now, we all know what that is. They're going to start sending bounty hunters after these people. And we continue, pardon the interjection. Any and all corporate officers of the United States or any successor organizations inheriting federal service contracts who support, condone, or promote such crimes against American states or against American state citizens, pardon me, shall be subject to arrest and persecution for commercial and violent crimes. All foreign officials operating as elected or appointed officials of the United States of America minor who support, condone, or promote such crimes against the American states or against American state citizens shall be subject to arrest, confiscation of their assets, and deportation to Puerto Rico, Guam, or such other states as may be willing to receive them. Such foreign officials include members of the American and British bar associations who were licensed to act as privateers against the interests of the American states and the American state citizens from 1845 to 2013 in flagrant breach of trust. Pardon me. All such licenses are now extinguished. Pardon the interjection. All such licenses are now extinguished. So, if the Bar Association's license are now extinguished, why are you paying for a lawyer? So-called, giving your money, so-called fiat, to a lawyer to represent you, which you can't be represented by anyone else. But we're just gonna continue. Members of the bar associations are required to cease and desist assaults against the American states and American state citizens, and shall be subject to arrest, confiscation, and deportation otherwise. Insomuch as corporate officers operating the United States of America Incorporated, the United States have contrived under conditions of fraud and systematic deceit to revenue the estates. The estates, now it says to revenue or revenue, to revenue the estates, estates, the estates of the American states and living American state citizens and living American state citizens to the foreign jurisdiction of the United States of America minor. They are found guilty of capital crimes, including acts of fraud and treason committed between 1933 and 1945, and are condemned posthumously, insomuch as elected officials operating the United States of America minor have summarily committed war crimes against the American states and their peaceful inhabitants during the same time period. They stand condemned posthumously. No enforcement upon any American state or American state citizen is owed as a result of any act of any Congress operating as the sovereign government of, the United States of America minor, nor as the board of directors or board of trustees of any incorporated entity whatsoever. All those estates, estates, and estates, all capital letters, erroneously believed to represent the American states and American state citizens, and which were conveyed by fraud and legal deceit to the United States of America minor. Pardon the interjection. That's dropping a boatload right there, family. That's dropping a boatload right there. All those estates, which were conveyed by the fraud of legal deceit to the United States of America minor, the company. And more recently to the city-state of the United Nations, are re-renewed without exception to the geographically defined American states and the American state citizens, are re-renewed without exception to the geographically defined American states and the American state citizens, where they shall remain in perpetuity as assets belonging to the rightful and lawful beneficiaries. Pardon the interjection. The Pope is saying that come on, y'all. This dude is saying it right here, plain as day. We're beneficiaries. We are the beneficiaries. This is our land. We are inherited. We inherit this land. All of this is ours. But you can't go up in there as no nigga. You can't claim to be a nigga, man, because there's no such thing as whack people. Come on. All legal fiction entities, however structured and named after the American states and American state citizens, are returned to them in their control, free and clear of any debt, promise, encumbrance, or obligation alleged against them as a result of false claims made in their behalf by officers of the United States of America Incorporated and the United States Incorporated, all caps, or by any foreign officials operating the United States of America minor or the United Nations city-state falsely claiming to represent them or have jurisdiction over them. They have no jurisdiction over you, Moors. Start claiming your nationality, your birthright. They have no jurisdiction over you. We note that the current circumstance is in part of the result of criminal acts engaged in 150 years ago, which resulted in the commercial enslavement of African Americans, who were summarily claimed as chattels backing U.S. government debt in the wake of the Civil War. This is the Pope saying this, y'all, that you're chattel if you're black, Negro, colored. You're chattel. Despite every act of abolition and declaration and prohibition against both peonage and slavery, it has been the policy of the U.S. government to enslave its citizens and to operate as a rogue state among the nations of the world. Instead of freeing African Americans, the sum total result of the Civil War was to vastly expand public sector ownership of slaves, giving rise to the outrageous and improper claims that have been made against the American states and the American state citizens that we are dealing with today. It is uniquely fitting that the GAR, the Grand Army of the Republic, is recalled to settle this circumstance in favor of the people. Pope Francis. Now, what are you gonna do? I got mine. I got mine. What are you gonna do? Huh? Because it's up to you now. I'm good. We good over here. But try to get you in. We want to get you in, It's free. It's free. It's free. Your nationality is free. Just like air. Air is free, right? It's free, y'all. We got to come up out of that. I mean, it's a lot that we got to think of and go through, but it's a lot that we got to think and do. But like I say, don't believe me. Go check it out, and you'll be amazed at the jewels you'll find on your treasure hunt. Like I say again, this is Partner Interjection. I'm your host, Supreme L, and as I say always, Islam, love, and peace forevermore.